Assalamu alaikum, brother Mahdi. I love what you're doing. I've been following your channel for some time now. I especially like your collaborations with AbuAmerican. I've been aware of RP for a while. Like yourself, I take what is useful as a Muslim and cut out all the rest. Good for you. Red Pill provided me answers that my surroundings and programming couldn't. Excellent. Take the good, leave the rest. I would like to tell you my story. English is not my native language, so please be patient with me. It's quite dark, but I could use some advice and encouragement from someone who knows the problems Muslim men are facing. Also, I will share some things that I simply can't share with even my best friend and brother, who, through Allah's will, has guided me to the deen. This is really sad, man. SubhanAllah. A little backstory. I'm not going to say his name, obviously. His age, the gentleman is approaching midlife. Okay? He's approaching midlife. I converted to Islam in my teens and via my best friend. And this friend has been with me since we were 9 and is still with me to this day. I'm not going to mention the type of family he's from, and he's born in a foreign country. Okay, I'm just trying to keep this as anonymous as possible. My upbringing, so he's from, and he's ethnic, but he was raised in Europe. He was born and raised in Europe. Okay. My upbringing was nothing short of a disaster. Though I had both of my parents in the home, there was a lot of hostility, mental abuse, and neglect. I didn't have a connection with my mother, especially. My mother was difficult to approach, and eventually I stopped trying. My little brother and sister had better luck. It was about a year before cancer took her that we were building something between us. My father was a different story. He was soft, meek, and difficult to read. I couldn't really figure him out. I can't say I really knew either of them, and to say that I have been damaged by this and more would be an understatement. This had a profound effect on my life until this day. And since I was a kid, I could sense something was off with me. For the guys, if you want to join the stream and ask a question live, you are welcome to do so. The link is in the chat. I mean, your device is not connected. Please connect your device, otherwise, I can't bring you on. So, my father was soft, meek, and difficult to read. I couldn't figure him out. I can't say I really knew either of them. And to say that I have been damaged by this and more would be an understatement. This had a profound effect on my life until this day. And since I was a kid, I could sense something was off with me. You know, I just want to say at this point, subhanAllah, I just want to shout out to my father, actually. Privilege is invisible to those who have it, who experience it. And I never really appreciated, or how could I? How can you appreciate whether you have a good dad or a bad dad? Because you've got no contrast, you've got nothing to compare against as a kid, right? You can only appreciate what's good once you know what's bad. You only know what good health is once you've been sick once or twice. You only know what's high quality once you've experienced low quality. It's all about contrast. So I never really appreciated it as a kid. But as I've grown up, I really appreciate having had a strong father figure in my life who was disciplined. He was strict, but in a good sense, disciplined, steadfast. He was a pillar. He was a pillar of the family. Was really a pillar. No matter what the family went through, he was a flipping wall, you know, a reliable wall. Allahumma barik. And that really had a great impact on me, seeing how what he was able to endure for the sake of the family, you know, and how steadfast and like pillar, bruv. And of course, how hard he was on me with regards to discipline and sport and routine and all of these things. SubhanAllah. Shout out to my father, Jazakallahu khair. Because when I receive messages like this, it reminds me of how important having a strong father figure in your life is. And to you mums out there, you mums who are raising your kids on your own and you're not facilitating contact between your children and their father because you want to punish dad, because you feel a certain type of way about your ex, and you know that by withholding the children from him, This hurts him. To you women, I have a message for you. And that message is the tax bill will one day be due, and the taxman will come to collect his dues in full. And that tax will be the perpetual, eternal hatred, contempt, ill will of your children towards you because you stopped them from seeing their dad. You stole something from them. You thief. You stole precious moments that they could have shared with their father in their childhood, which they will never get back. And as a result of that, have now been molded in a particular way that is going to take a lot of work to undo. The harm that has been done will take a lot of work to undo. The tax bill will be due, and you will have to pay it in full. And you're not going to be able to pay it. I have spoken to the children of families whereby the mother withheld the children, these are adults now. The mother, when they were children, withheld the children from seeing that just for a short period of time, a matter of months. That was it. To this day, they hold contempt towards their mother for that. How could she? How could she do that? Imagine doing it over the long run. There's hell to pay. Wallahi, there's hell to pay in so many different ways. So many different ways. To say that I have been damaged by this and more would be an understatement. This had a profound effect on my life until this day. And since I was a kid, I could sense something was off with me. I had difficulty connecting with people. Hence, I only have a few people I can really trust. I am more like a hermit in that sense. I've been working with multiple therapists, so he's been putting in the work to try and resolve his issues for the last 10 years, but to little to no avail. It leaves me more and more nihilistic and suicidal. Nihilistic means losing hope, no hope. I am broke, fat, and alone. Okay, so we have a number of issues there that we can address, my brother. All right, you're broke, fat, and alone. First thing that you can easily address is just being fat. And I'm going to get to this properly in a second. And remember, this gentleman is midlife. Okay, he's midlife. He's not a young man, he's midlife. I am broke, fat, alone, bad with women, no achievements to speak of. Overall, failing in life and not in a good place. To be fair, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't haram to take my own life. It feels like I am stuck. I try not to complain and to be great and to not be and to be grateful to Allah, but I am absolutely failing his test. I am really losing hope. You speak a lot about marriage, and whilst I do agree with you on its importance as an institute, I have a hard time seeing it as something positive most of the time. Of course, yani, if this is something that you have wanted and tried to get for so long to no avail, of course you're going to feel a certain type of way towards it. You will begin to disdain the things you cannot have. I have seen too many cases of it going wrong. From my own parents' marriage, a Muslim brother in his iddah sleeping on my couch whilst his wife is shacking up with his Muslim neighbor. Well, the woman would have been on her iddah. Another brother in my own circle, iddah, by the way, for those of you who didn't understand, iddah is a period of time that a woman can't get married again, a Muslim woman. So once she gets divorced, she has to go, there's a period of time that she can't get married again. From as little as one menstruation cycle, if it's a khul, to as much as 3 months, if it's talaq. Khul is when the woman initiates the divorce. Talaq is when the man has initiated the divorce and said, I divorce you. Another brother in my own circle stole the wife of another brother in my circle. Those are just a few cases. Is it even worth it? At this point, I don't want to get married, though this is the least of my worries. I also watched your video titled How Escorts Destroyed My Mental Health. Make sure you watch that video, guys, if you haven't watched it. It's an excellent video. Okay, so a brother who came on and actually gave his first-hand experience of how escorts actually destroyed his mental health. Like the brother speaking in that video, I also engaged in this zina as well. Unlike the zina, remember, sex outside of marriage, okay? Unlike the brother, it also started with pornography from the age of 15. Pornography is the, what's the word? Recreational drug, the light drug, the easy drug that gets you onto the heavy stuff. It's the weed of the drug world. My experience is different though. Sleeping with those women did absolutely nothing for me. Much like being unable to connect with people, even in that setting, it doesn't seem to be possible. Maybe it's because I'm emotionally flatlined 95% of the time. Maybe I am just too broken. I don't know what to do anymore. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders, and I would like to hear your opinion and, if possible, your advice. Sorry if I'm all over the place with this email. My head is all over the place. It is hard to think clear at the moment. May Allah bless you and your family and keep you strong on your mission. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. That was a difficult read, man. That was a difficult read. And some of you may recall when I mentioned that when a man reaches midlife, a bit later, around the age of 50, if he hasn't achieved anything significant and substantial, he hasn't done something for himself, it really starts to hit him hard. Hence the term midlife crisis. Part of that is connected to the fact that you realize that you're close to death. You're closer to death than you are to life. When you're younger, let's say the average age of people living these days is around 80 years old. Well, when you're below the age of 40, you're still closer to life, right? To youth. Once you get past that age, especially the age of 50, I've noticed for a man, it's like, how much time do I have left here? Like, I don't even have much time left here. And what have I done? I've done nothing. It can really destroy a man. It can really destroy a man. So to the youngsters who are watching right now, and I know there's a few of you, start plotting and planning strategically now. Now. You might think, oh, I can't be bothered to do this. This is all long. Well, if you can't be bothered to do that and it's all long, you're going to have to be bothered to deal with the consequences of failure. There's no way out. There's no way out. There's no, oh, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to take the easy route. Is it really an easy route? Really? Is it really easy dealing with these emotions? Dealing with this, what you've just read just now, what you've just heard me read out to you? Is that the easy route out? I don't think so. The brother is asking me for advice. I'm going to be honest with you. I want the brother to take my advice secondary. First, he needs to speak to, he's spoken to professionals, speak to an alim, a scholar. Those individuals, speak to them first, okay? Students of knowledge and so on. Firstly and foremostly, I'll say to you, hold tight to the rope of Allah. This is from our religion. Make sure you are keeping on top with your salah, because these fundamentals, when you keep these fundamentals in place, it keeps your head put together. This is the basic advice, right? That everyone would give you, but the basic is best. Basic is best. Keep on top of your salah. Read as much Quran as you can. Basic is best. All right? Basic advice, but it's good advice. After that, if you want to know what I would say personally, well, you've mentioned a number of things here. You mentioned that you're broke, you're fat, and you're alone. This is too many problems. So forget about women. That goal of trying to get a wife, that's too big right now. Okay? For the stage that you're at right now, that goal looks too big. It looks too far away. I can see this. It looks like such a unrealistic goal that it's like, forget it. So forget about that. The first thing you want to do is you want to get yourself into shape. And you don't even want to get yourself into shape. You just want to start with, I just want to lose 2 kilos. That's it. 1 kilo, 1 kilo. Forget 2 kilos, 1 kilo. Baby steps. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Have you ever heard of that saying? Sometimes the enormity of the goal is off putting. And as a result, because it looks so big, it's like, forget it. I'm not even going to start. It's too much. It's too big. I got to lose 100 pounds. It's too much. Forget it. Can't be asked to start. No, you don't need to lose 100 pounds. You need to lose 1 pound. And you know what you do after you lost that 1 pound? You lose another 1 pound and another. And just start there. You need an entry point. You know, in business, sometimes in business, when you want to release a product onto the market, you can't necessarily compete with the other competitors and the product that they are producing by producing your own equivalent product, because they have such a dominant hold. So what do? You create an angle for yourself and for your brand by creating another product that is not being created by this company, but that will give you an in. You will be able to successfully sell it because there's not much competition, and build brand recognition and build brand awareness. And then once there is trust in your brand, then you can make the product that you actually wanted to make in the first place. You have to find an angle. You have to find a way in for yourself. This is what you need to do right now. Ultimately, you want to marry a woman, right? You want to have a family and settle down. That product's, it's too much competition there right now. Forget that. You need to find an in for yourself. You know how you find an in for yourself? By beginning to like yourself. You don't like yourself, and you definitely don't respect yourself. And that's perfectly understandable given your situation. You don't like yourself and you don't respect yourself. And why would you? As you said, I'm fat, I'm broke, I'm out of shape, I'm alone, I've achieved nothing, I'm midlife. Of course, you wouldn't like yourself. Perfectly understandable. I'm not attacking you. I'm I'm giving voice to your feeling. So what you need to do right now is you need to start giving yourself a reason to like yourself again. How do you do that? Baby steps, by taking small steps in a positive direction. And one way whereby you can make yourself feel better about yourself is when you look in the mirror, you look better. It's like, oh, you know what? I like the look of that. You know how many times a day I lift up my top to look at my abs in the mirror? I can't tell you. Just for me. I don't put them online. I have started putting pictures online recently of my physique for marketing purposes because of No Strings to Care. But before that, I don't put my pictures online. It's for me. I like to see it. It makes me feel good. I feel good, man. I got to walk past the toilet, lift up the top a little bit. You know what? There's a couple of new lines there. It's looking good, man. Feel good about myself. I want that for you. I want you to feel good about yourself too. But you need to give yourself a reason to feel good about yourself. When I was out of shape, if you've seen my before and after pictures on my previous streams, then you will see that I was out of shape once. I didn't like that body. I didn't like that person. And if that carries on for too long, you can end up not liking yourself entirely, completely, in its entirety. So I want you to give yourself an in, a way in. And the best way you can do that is with my coach. Start with my coach, Afsa. If you want me to put you in touch with him directly, he's going to start doing diet transformations on No Strings Nikah. Hit me up on Instagram at the Mahdi Tijani. I will put you in touch with him. Just start there. Get yourself into a routine, a nice, easy routine, nothing hard, something simple, something so easy that it would be hard for you to not do it. You start there, baby steps. You are looking at the big picture and looking at how much change you need to affect in your life right now, and it's overwhelming. Forget that. You need small change, baby steps, little things. Okay, I'm used to waking up at 11 a.m. Khalas, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 10:30. 10:45, yallah. 15 minutes, bring it back slowly. I don't know if this is your situation. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, I'm used to eating X number of chocolates a day, 5 chocolates a day, for example. Okay, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to have 4. Don't cut it all out straight away. Don't go teetotal. Most of you are not mentally strong enough to go teetotal. Every time I've heard a story of someone who's quit smoking after 20 years by going cold turkey, just like that, I'm like, okay, that worked for you, but that's not going to work for most people. Don't go teetotal. baby steps, slowly, 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 small, small, small. And eventually, you'll have a compound effect of positive change. And then the third thing I will leave you with is fill your mind with positive material. Fill your spare time with positive material. And the first book you can read is the one that I just said, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Read that book. Listen, don't read it. Listen to it on Audible. Nice and easy. You'll find it for free on YouTube. Don't even need to buy it. I think it's free on Audible as well. The Compound Effect by Dan Hardy. Read that book. Fill your mind with your mind is malleable for better or for worse. Whatever you choose to expose your mind to, that's how your mind is going to become. It will become affected by it. Have you ever noticed how you feel after you've seen a horrific incident on the news? Someone was killed and so on. How do you feel after watching that? Equally, how do you feel after your favorite football team has just won? Information affects us for better or for worse. So be jealous over what information you allow your mind to consume. Jealously guard your brain and your mind and what you allow it to be exposed to. Don't just allow it to be exposed to anything willy-nilly. It has an impact on you. Like when you eat junk food, it affects your health. When you consume junk information in your mind, it also affects your health.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.